My dad chose his fiance's surgery over mine. I grew up with a dad who was barely there. My parents got married after I was born, then divorced when I was 11 after he went to rehab. That's where he met his fiance, and they had a daughter together. Ever since then, I felt like he's been living a whole new life without me. If I'm lucky, he shows up to maybe half of the important things in my life, but most of the time, there's always some excuse. A few years ago, I was diagnosed with scoliosis. At first, they said no surgery, but my spine kept getting worse until it finally came down to it. I needed surgery. They scheduled it for November 20th, and I told my dad months in advance. I told him I really needed him this time. He promised he'd be there. And then, he texted me saying he had already planned a vacation that would keep him gone until mid-December, which meant he'd miss my surgery and most of my recovery. I felt crushed, but I told myself, fine, whatever. Then 2 hurricanes hit where he was vacationing. Suddenly, he told me he'd be able to make it to my surgery after all. For the first time in years, I let myself feel hopeful. I thought maybe this time he's actually going to show up for me. But a week before my surgery, he texted again. His fiance had lung cancer, and her surgery had been scheduled for the exact same day, just a few hours before mine, at a hospital 30 minutes away. He said he might not make it to mine. And when he says might not, it always means no. He added, this isn't about who I love more. But the second I read that, I broke. I sat on the kitchen floor sobbing because I realized this man was never going to put me first. No matter how much I wanted him to be my dad, he was always going to choose something else. I finally snapped. I texted him and told him straight up how much this hurt me. That it wasn't just about love, it was about showing up, about being there when it mattered. I told him he dangled hope in front of me just to rip it away again. I even asked if he knew about her surgery earlier and just didn't bother telling me. I told him I needed him to show me he was my dad through his actions, not just empty words. He swore the surgery was only scheduled the day he told me, but he's lied so many times before that I didn't even know if I could believe him. I clarified that my anger wasn't at her, it was at him, for always choosing everything else over me. I told him that even if the timing wasn't his fault, he could have at least shown me some empathy, some care, something. And then I told him the truth I'd been holding back for years, that I hope he's a better father to my little sister than he ever was to me, that I'm done being the only one keeping this relationship alive. If he wants to be my dad, I'll gladly be his daughter, but if not, I'll be fine without him. He never responded, and honestly, maybe that silence says it all.